Hey everyone, this is Acid Roots. I have got a review for you, and this one has to do with Rick Ross. So, what I have heard is it's a pretty good mixtape. It really is. I think this was a surprising thing that he did. He was working on this in 2011, which in that year he didn't drop an album. So, I mean, coming off the success of his 2010 album, really, I've read some stuff about it, and they have said that it, even though it didn't sell a lot, it shaped things just because he really embraced more styles. And so I you'll just have to check that one out. It's called Teflon Don, but between that and his 2012 record, Rick Ross just kind of started bulking up. And, his previous errors of his albums, he kind of corrected, and he even kind of got some, trending topics to get going. And so this is a pretty relevant mixtape. And the reason why I like it and I'm even reviewing it is just because some of the content's a little bit darker. The production is not necessarily as, mild and upbeat. And I'm kind of proud of that. I just wasn't expecting that from Rick Ross, but it's definitely a good thing. There's no Tech 9 feature on this album, but it still can it's definitely, I mean, it's free. That's the best part about it is that you can pick this up and you really shouldn't have too many problems finding the best of the best songs. But I will cover what some good ones are. So, this is Rich Forever and Can You Smoke to This? So, I definitely think you can smoke to this. A couple of them would be Holy Ghost, High Definition, King of Diamonds, Stay Schemin', I Swear to God, and New Bugatti. So these are all some good ones to smoke to. They've got really kind of pumped up instrumentals, and Rick Ross, he can write lyrics. So it's not just something that when you listen to the song Hustlin', it just seemed like a basic trap song, but he doesn't really do that this time. It feels like that original Rick Ross that you heard back then was he's since improved. I mean, obviously that's half a decade later, but he doesn't really have too many songs that are saying he's still kind of out there. So, I mean, this is refreshing just because, like, now you get the sense of something to it. Because, I mean, even though you're hustling, listening to music when you're working is always going to be different from listening to music when you're not. Just because, you have to keep a certain attitude. And, if that's the only reason that you're making music is just for someone to get up and get it, you need something for other things. But I will say though, if your lifestyle is not a little bit, going, it just doesn't. Well, what am I trying to say? I don't know. I mean, Rick Ross has a tendency to talk about money, and that's the thing that I feel is that he does, and so that there's not necessarily many songs just where he's doing whatever he does when he's not working. So like, you think, does he kick it in Miami? Does he order expensive bottles or whatever he does, you just don't really hear that much. So, but the production, like I said, is handled rather well, and there's some really good beats on here. I think the song "Fuck 'Em" really, if you listen to it a little bit longer, it's got some bells in there that really work. "Yellow Diamonds" is pretty good, but Rick Ross kind of wastes the song because he just says the same lyric over and over. I know he's trying to do like N-word rhyming, but it just was the wrong word to do that. High Definition was King of Diamonds is a really good beat. Stay Scheming's one of the best on the whole project. I Swear to God's really good. Mind Games is pretty good. It's out of place on this record, but it works. Kelly Rowland really does it. There's some good ones. I'm gonna list the songs that I like, the unheard songs, and that way you know everything, because most of these records do have a good beat. So the unheard songs, I like 12 out of 18 songs on this record, which lets you know there's actually quite a bit. So that's Holy Ghost, High Definition, MMG Untouchable, Fuck 'Em, Triple Beam Dreams, Mind Games, New Bugatti, 7, Last Breath, I Swear to God, King of Diamonds, Party Heart, and Stay Schemin'. All of those really work. Stay Schemin' has Drake on there. It's really one of the best beats. I recommend you check it out. King of Diamonds has Mike Will on the beat, and it's one of the better beats. It just sounds like there's a wreck going on. Holy Ghost kind of sounds a little bit, eerie, and that one's really good. High Definition, that's a good album cut. That'd work on an album. Triple Beam Dreams has Nas on there, and if you want lyrics, this is a good one to go to. Plus the beat's good. Mind Games is a really good kind of poppier song, except it's Kelly Rowland's on there from Destiny's Child, and she can do a hook. Obviously you'd think Beyonce was the only one, but she can actually do it. So all of the 12 songs I listed really work, but those are just a few of the ones that you should check out. So I recommend this record, and there's probably some more. If you're looking for more, obviously Meek Mill has dropped some mixtapes. He's from Maybach Music, and there's Wale, and there, all the MMG camp. And then I would probably say like Birdman and Rick Ross dropped the project together, and French Montana, Drake, of course, and I'm gonna think of who else. Like, this type of sound is not necessarily something like you're not gonna see similar acts to this just because it starts. I like this record just because of the sound that he captures, but I'm not gonna explore this. Like, I'm not gonna do all the Meek Mill mixtapes because I don't think they have the sound that I'm trying to show to people. And it's the same thing with, some of these other guys. I might do one record, but I'm not going to do them all. Because one thing I'm not trying to be is just a standard review guy that does everything. I'm not going to do that. I'm trying to find things that, have a sound and work. I don't know how. I don't want to describe it without sounding rude, but yeah, just because you can tell, you can tell the ones that, I don't know. I'll make like a editorial about it or something. But I do recommend this record, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. It's 12 out of 18 is just good. If it would have been 13 or 14, it would have been a 10. And Yellow Diamonds and the John Legend record, those were another couple close ones. But I mean, I just didn't like the beat on the John Legend one. And it's really difficult for me to listen to John Legend anymore just because, I know he probably isn't smoking an ounce every day. You just got to make music for that sort of sound and just, you know, the future. Yeah, so Rick Ross hasn't dropped a mixtape in a while, but he has dropped 3 albums since early 2012 when this came out. So all of those, I think, would be worthwhile, but we'll see. I'll get into them and decide what I'm going to do. Is this album social? I'm going to give it like an 8.5 social just because I think people are going to like the Drake record. I think people will like French Montana on there. And, there's Birdman, Diddy, Meek Mill also. But, just the problem with it is you have to hunt. That's the only thing. I mean, it's good, but you just have to look for the records that you're going to like. That's why I did this review, is to get you geared up for the songs that are actually better so you don't have to force yourself into liking them. And yeah, I think just those records, but obviously go for the Drake one. Go for that one will probably resonate real well. I feel like King of Diamonds is another one. High Definition, Holy Ghost, and for the women, Mind Games, and yeah, I'm just trying to think of what else. I guess MMG Untouchable. Just newcomers to Rick Ross might have a harder time, but the record is good. So all right, can it be topped? Not likely for a mixtape. This is about as good as mixtapes get. So I give this album a 9 and an 8.5 social. Subscribe for more fun.